Alright, I like what you got there. Let me show you what I got. Check this out. Bring the bass line.
Hey, what's good everyone? This is Adam underrated in the clutch, and I want to talk about a team that's doing pretty good recently on the Eastern Conference that surprisingly are making potential waves without their top star player. And the team I'm referring to is the Atlanta Hawks. At the time of recording, the last 10 games, the Hawks have won 7 of the last 10 games, and they've been doing really well, surprisingly, without their main superstar in Trae Young. As Nickeil Alexander-Walker, he's been able to make a huge leap for the Atlanta Hawks, and they made a really smart acquisition with Kristaps Porzingis, having some needed center depth, and also like just helping out with like this Atlanta Hawks team find their own identity and not being so offensive heavy with just letting Trae do everything he wants and like potentially, you know, causing mishaps for the rest of the team. So I'm impressed with the Atlanta Hawks, and my concern with that is like while they've been successful without Trae Young, I'm wondering like because I've been hearing rumblings for several years now, are they finally gonna try to trade Trae Young because they've been saying like, you know, how much of a defensive liability he is and how they're like they're always going to compare him to Luka Doncic because they were traded for each other back in the 2018 draft. Like how Luka's a lot more successful than Trae Young, and then Trae, he's not achieving as much and he's easy to be exposed. Once you like do a certain game plan around him, that's it. You take out the whole Atlanta Hawks team, and now that the Hawks are like finding a way past that stage, now they're like, okay, do we really need Trae Young to begin with? And if not, then let's just get the most assets we can so we can be able to like grow this team moving forward and have our own identity instead of being tied up to one person. Now that can go both ways, and like I understand from the Hawks perspective, and I understand from Trae Young potentially being frustrated about that too. Like I get both sides. I mean, from the Hawks, I mean they want to get back to being playoff contenders and serious threats in the East. And Trae Young's like, well, I've been doing really much for you guys. I mean, I took you guys to the Eastern Conference Finals a couple of years ago. I helped you guys out, like to lead you in scoring. I'm a major superstar. I'm very marketable. I do all these things for you guys, and this is how you treat me. You know, you're not really gonna give me the support I need, or I'm always hearing myself in trade rumors. Like, are you serious? Like, it could potentially get pretty ugly. I mean, hopefully not as bad as Jimmy Butler with the Heat last year, or now what we're seeing this season with Ja Morant and the Memphis Grizzlies. But it could be something to keep our eyes on, you know, because Trae Young, he is a superstar for the Atlanta Hawks, and like he's a big name that a lot of people know about, whether they know basketball or not, surprisingly. So with that, I mean, I do want to look at some teams that definitely could use Trae Young and his services and be able to, even with his defensive questions, these teams can potentially mask that and like help them to go even further than where Trae Young and the Hawks are right now. And so I've listed 3 teams on here, and the 3 teams I've listed are the Houston Rockets, as they are a team that desperately need a point guard. And I understand that like Trae Young's pretty expensive to get there. Now, obviously, in order to give something, you have to get something. So they're probably going to trade one of their top players. We're probably going to look at maybe either or of Amen Thompson, Alperen Şengün, or maybe Jabari Smith Jr. and find a way to get some picks on top of that. Like, but the team right now, they desperately need a point guard because their starting point guard, Fred VanVleet, he is out for the entire season because he tore up his knee. And the team, while they're doing really good, they could use a little bit of that like that point guard help, because Trae Young, he's also really good, a playmaker. He can be able to get a lot of assists going. He can move the ball, and that's something I would look at. Now, are they desperate enough to where they have to make this trade? No, because they're winning and they're doing really good, because they're led by Kevin Durant and Amen Thompson, Alperen Şengün, Jabari Smith, all those people I mentioned. They have a depth with Steven Adams and Jeff Green, like Dorian Finney-Smith. Like, they have a really good team. It's just this could be potentially the final piece they need to reach the top. But then again, they're going to have to give up some defense for offense, so it could go either or. So like, but I would look at the Rockets as a potential option. Now, the second team I'm looking at is the Milwaukee Bucks. And hold on one second, forgive me. I just gotta take care of the lighting situation, as we can see. All right, there you go. That's much better. I apologize. The Milwaukee Bucks. Now, at the time of recording, the Milwaukee Bucks are 8-12, so they're not doing too good right now. And yes, I mean they're doing really well with the rise of Ryan Rollins, who is doing really good for the Milwaukee Bucks. He is like taking care of like what they need to do, and he's helping them out when originally we all thought it was going to be either Kevin Porter Jr. or Kyle Kuzma stepping up, but it's actually Ryan Rollins who's been the true number 2 option behind Giannis. So. And Giannis, he's known for being a great defensive player. He's been able to do a lot of great things for the Milwaukee Bucks, and they can like make schemes to help out Trae Young to be able to set up Giannis, give him open opportunities, and give him that true, genuine point guard help that they need. Now, they could potentially have to trade Rollins, or they probably have to throw in a good amount of their roster, maybe Miles Turner or some other players and some picks to make this work. But I don't see why not, because the Bucks, I mean, they're kind of desperate. They've ran out of their assets, so most likely if Trae Young is going to go to the Milwaukee Bucks, they're probably going to have to be at least a 3rd or 4th team to make this work, to make the contracts and or the draft picks work on that. But the Milwaukee Bucks, I could see them like try to make a play at this, because at this point, I mean, like they're trying to keep Giannis happy and they don't really have much going for them. So why not take a chance to go for a swing for a major superstar, because it did not work out with Damian Lillard. So, but with Trae Young, I mean, he's still very young, and he can be able to give the Bucks the much needed spark that they need. And another team that I am looking at if I were to trade Trae Young is the Orlando Magic, my hometown team. Now, when looking at the Orlando Magic, they did sign Tyus Jones to be able to like try to fill that point guard need, because when they had Desmond Bane, they looked to do really good, but so far that has not panned out. The Magic, I mean, they're doing decent, but not as good as we expect them to. So, and the Magic, they're known also for their defense. They have a great defensive identity led by Jamal Mosley, and having Paolo Banchero and Desmond Bane and Franz Wagner. Like they're doing really good, like as a unit, and that's what they're known for, especially with Jalen Suggs leading the way as a defensive-minded point guard. Now, most likely for the Orlando Magic, they'll probably have to give up probably either Jalen Suggs or potentially like more draft picks. Maybe Iffy. I don't know if they're desperate enough, if they're gonna probably ask for Franz Wagner. I don't know, but like it is gonna take a decent amount to look at that. But that's something I would do if I'm the Orlando Magic, because if I'm them, my main focus is Paolo Banchero. That is their major superstar that they have. And when seeing this with Paolo, he really does, like, he's a great player, he's a good scorer, but he does need some help, like with his shooting especially. That's why they brought Desmond Bane in there. So they probably have to make some things work, like salary wise, to make this fit. So that's why I'm saying possibly Franz Wagner, but I really feel like they can once and for all solve their point guard needs, and the Magic can like finally get to the top where they need to be, because they'll have the perfect balance of like having great scoring in Trae Young and Desmond Bane, who's also known as a good scorer. That's why they traded for him. And with their defensive-minded schematics in the Orlando Magic, with their coaching style, they can legit be a true top threat in the Eastern Conference with that. So that's what I'm going with right here with these 3 teams. So to recap, the Houston Rockets, they desperately need point guard help. Now, they're in a good situation, but this could be a situation to be able to help them finally like clear out any flaws remaining in them. But then again, they're gonna have to give up some defense and one of the defensive stars to make this work. So it could be a potential crossroads. So I don't know if they will be able to do that, but like I could see them like at least in the mix. The Milwaukee Bucks, they're in a desperate situation. Like they're mediocre at best this season. So, and with them like running out of their assets available, like I could see them try to take a swing one last time to keep Giannis happy and maybe keep like whatever window they have like afloat. And the Orlando Magic, I mean, so far their original plan has not 100% come to fruition, because they're not within the top teams yet in the Eastern Conference. So I could see Trae Young being able to be that true piece for the Magic that they need at point guard to get them to the top, to be among there with the Detroit Pistons, the New York Knicks, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Toronto Raptors, and even the Miami Heat. So that's why I'm going with what I'm going with right here. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Hawks fans, what do you guys think? Do you guys like your team so far? Would you trade Trae Young? And if so, for what pieces or assets? And for any other teams I listed, like Rockets, Bucks, Magic, would you guys trade for Trae Young? Why or why not? I'd love to hear you guys out in the comment section down below. I'm just like giving this an idea as a way to help your team out. But yeah, I'm happy to discuss with every single one of you guys. Please like and subscribe to this channel. I certainly love and appreciate every single last one of y'all. God bless, and talk soon.